Hello trainers and welcome to a update on my YouTube channel. Been a moment of, what would I say, well, busyness, and also a fair bit of, the whole soul searching and figuring out where exactly I wanted to go next, going into the 2026 Pokemon season, and so I came up with some ideas. Wrote them down on some lovely note cards here, so I'm going to roll through those, mostly so I don't forget anything. And yeah, I'll go through that, I'll post this, and then I'll get to work on it. So first off, I had originally proposed a product of climbing, or not a product, a project of climbing the ranked ladder using Scarlet Pokemon that you could only find in the base game of Scarlet. And I am actually going to decommission that. I'm not going to do it. And the reason being is because the world's final match basically did everything that I could have wanted to do on the biggest stage possible. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the finals match of James Evans versus Giovanni. I'm going to mess up his last name if I try and say it, so I'm not going to. I'm going to take that video, though, find it, and I want to commentate on it. Basically, I want to do a turn-by-turn breakdown because it basically does everything that I had wanted to do with demonstrating how you could totally win with a team that was built purely out of Pokemon that you could find in base game Scarlet. Now, you might say his total team wasn't just base game Scarlet, and I'll say yes, but he brought the same 4 Pokemon to each match, and all 4 of them were base game Scarlet. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's the first one. Second thing, with the YouTube channel in general, I want to refocus it back onto why I originally started it, which was documenting my personal journey as a trainer and helping others to improve their own game. So with that in mind, fundamentally, I am gearing towards the competitive scene, which is best of 3 open team sheets. Unfortunately, that is a very difficult thing to replicate on a Nintendo Switch without, unless you happen to know a lot of people. And unfortunately, I don't even have a local scene where I live. I have looked into it on multiple occasions. Nearest locals, I'm pretty sure, is a solid 3 hours away. So with that in mind, off to Showdown we go. So I will be recording things from Best of 3 on Showdown, going over what I'm doing with the thought process is very similar to the other games, and I do hope that you'll enjoy it. I will admit it's not as fun of a viewing experience as playing on the Switch is, so I will be sure to intersperse some normal Nintendo Switch stuff as well. But for hardcore training, we're going to Showdown for a bit, specifically to be able to practice that Best of 3 open team sheets. Next thing, Legends ZA is coming out. I'm very pumped. I do want to cover stuff about it. I'm not really sure what to cover yet. I mean, obviously the game's not out yet. But if there's anything you'd like to see, let me know, because I am very open to any suggestions. I managed to get my own notes out of order. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. I am very good at this game. All right. Oh, yeah. Tournament play. So I am hoping to be able to go to a tournament in May, the regional level one. Unfortunately, just the way that life goes sometimes, finances aren't really in place for me to go to anything sooner than that. So I'm going to play basically as much in the online scene as I can, because that is available and is significantly less financially impacting. But I do still want to try and make it to at least one regional during the 2026 season. So we're looking at May right now. That's just kind of where we are. And yeah, so that's the update on that. But as I get closer to that, it will be my intent to do a lot more focused practice and prep. And yeah, so if there's anything that you want to see regarding, just this season breakdown or anything like that, please do let me know. I'm very, very interested. And then, I guess a couple other things. Champions. Actually really excited about seeing what Champions brings to the scene as a whole. I think it'll be really cool. And I'm sure there will be things that will require, getting used to, things that are changes. And change can always be uncomfortable, but change is also an opportunity to grow. So I look forward to diving into Champions head first when it comes out and just seeing where we can go with it. Personally, I think that it's not coming out until probably early 26 if I was going to guess. I guess if I was the Pokemon company, what I would try and do is I'd probably try and have it drop sometime in January so that you can work out a lot of the technical kinks or potential technical kinks before you move into the before you move into the season that will take place right before Worlds. Because the main thing that, since I believe Champions is the plan to be used for Worlds 2026, that is kind of like the big showmanship thing for the Pokemon Company. So you don't want to find yourself in a situation of not being able to perform well, if you will. So yeah, that's so if I was them, I'd want to have a couple months at least of figuring out all the technical issues before we hit the big stage. So that's my thought on that. Um, yeah, I guess the last thing is that uh, if at any time any of you feel like anyone who watches this video wants to play me, either on Showdown or on the Switch, I am totally game. So yeah, just hit me up in the comments, and I'd love to play a match or two. We'll see what we can get scheduled. Anyway, hope you have a fantastic day. Look forward to seeing you in the next one.